Let's do it.
They say primates are our closest relatives on the planet. You can clearly see the resemblance when you see how they look and how they behave. But nowhere is this connection to humans more apparent than when you take a look at gorillas. Gorillas are huge herbivores that live in groups. But don't make the mistake of assuming that gorillas are well-behaved and docile creatures just because they mostly stick to vegetarian diets. Not only are they immensely strong, they can be extremely violent depending on the situation. They may also engage in fights with their own kind. So here are 16 most gruesome and violent attacks by gorillas that will give you the chills.
And first off, some of those were not gorillas. Those were regular apes / chimpanzees in the mix. And I might be lying. Y'all need to do your own research on that to see if that's real or not. Because I don't think those were all gorillas. Some of those apes were kind of small compared to that big old silverback. Like, that was a big dude. I don't know what they was feeding him. But good gosh, bro. It's a tight end, middle linebacker.
Gorilla versus gorilla. The favorite opponent in most gorilla fights is another gorilla. Rarely do these animals engage with others. However, a bout involving 2 or more gorillas is extremely common. While sometimes the fights between gorillas may be playful in nature, these fights and attacks are scary to watch due to the sheer size and strength of these beasts regardless of the intention. In this clip, 2 gorillas that are almost equal in size and strength go up against each other inside a zoo. The 2 push each other and come to blows several times, and this doesn't look like a playful match, but a serious fight. After struggling with each other for a while, both gorillas seem to have attained some sort of an understanding, and the fight stops. Do you think this fight could have been to secure mating rights with the female in the enclosure?
We got the house!
Pods handles the driving.
This next one isn't an actual fight, but instead 2 gorillas probably related to each other playing together. The smaller one seems to chase the bigger gorilla all over the enclosure. Even though the larger primate can easily overpower the other one, it seems to play along. Finally, after a point of this playful chase, the bigger gorilla finally steps forward and grabs the other one's head menacingly, but doesn't do anything else. A few seconds later, the bigger animal again charges and this time wrestles with its playmate while baring its teeth. Even though it looks like a serious threat, in this case, it's just a game of pretend. These gorillas have been locked out of their indoor enclosure because there's some cleaning going on there. Usually, the gorillas can go through that door as they please, but not today. While the other gorillas take this as a slight inconvenience, the large male gorilla seems truly irritated. He pokes through the opening in the door to check what's going on inside and why he isn't being allowed entry. Since he cannot show off his annoyance in any other way, he does what parents often tend to do in the human world too. He lashes out at his son, taking him down for a moment. The kid screams loudly to register his displeasure at being treated this way and then moves away from his grumpy father. Territorial disputes between 2 male gorillas is no laughing matter. In this clip, a young male challenges the leader of a troop, a silverback gorilla. By showing off its dominance, the younger opponent can impress the ladies in the leader's troop, and this isn't something that the veteran silverback is about to withstand.
For one, bro, I'm not doing it. This is why I asked the question on Instagram, bro. If you tap on the glass aggressively of the habitat of a silverback gorilla, and he knocks it down, will you be able to fight that thing? 7 feet, maybe 8, over my head. I gotta look it up. Tougher skin than mine. Hell no. Hell no.
The younger gorilla continues impressing the females. The leader remains calm and ignores him at first. However, soon, the older gorilla's patience is tested and it rushes aggressively towards the challenger. Even though the 2 don't actually come to blows, the message is clear. The silverback is ready to defend his troop with every ounce of strength he has. Soon, the challenger realizes it can't hope to win against the silverback and backs off. This silverback gorilla looks like it's in charge of the younger gorillas playing inside the enclosure of a zoo. As usual, the young primates are creating a ruckus, and the silverback has had enough. He tries to defuse one particular situation. A smaller gorilla seems to be tormenting another young one. The silverback notices this and immediately tries to reach out and help. But both gorillas seem to be just out of reach as the two tumble down a rock's edge. The silverback gets down too, and with a single shove from its hand, removes the tormentor from the other small gorilla. Now that's what you call a strict disciplinarian. This next one shows how aggressive these animals can truly be. The two gorillas are almost equal in size and look to be pretty evenly matched. Suddenly, one of them launches a brutal attack on the other, and the other gorilla retaliates with blows of its own. They jump and
Everybody's watching this inside of a zoo. Everybody's watching this inside of a zoo. Nah, I'm exiting immediately out the zoo. No more.
punch each other with all their might. After getting hit with one last punch, the original attacker decides that it has had enough and backs down. As it seeks shelter behind a tree, the other one follows close at its heels. Do you think the fight really ended there, or was there a second round in this bout? Silverback gorillas are leaders because they not only protect the troop from external threats, but also maintain strict order within the family. In this clip, two female gorillas suddenly have a disagreement and come to blows. The silverback gorilla nearby isn't going to stand by and watch such a thing happening in its troop. He quickly jumps into action. He pushes one of the females outside through a hatch in the room, and then strikes the other one with so much force that she is flung in the air. The little ones in the group scream and shout, watching all of this unfold. After a small period of chaos, everything becomes calm once again, thanks mostly to the silverback's efforts.
Hey Mom, ready?
New all-free clear mega packs. Bigger packs with 2 times the stain lifting power to conquer any load. So you can get back to doing what you love. New all-free clear mega packs. It's one and all done.
Do you know what's lurking in your loofah? It's a soggy sack of bacteria, mold, and mildew just feeding on your dead skin cells.
Fights between siblings aren't just common in human families, but among gorillas too. Here, an older female is seen hitting her younger brother over the head. The infant falls down from the strike, gets back up, and returns to his sister. This time, she's about to do something worse. The female gorilla drags the infant by his hand as he tumbles on the ground. The infant has no option but to seek protection from his mother by clinging to her legs. But he is back to fighting with his sister in a little while and gets knocked down again. This friendly match doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon. Well, that's what happens when you have a bully for a sibling. In this clip, a large gorilla suddenly flips out on a younger one and attacks it. The attacker pushes it down and then slaps and punches it. Others in the troop get in the way and try to protect the infant from further abuse. But that may be easier said than done. This adult gorilla just seems too determined to beat the younger one. What do you think the juvenile gorilla did to annoy the bigger one so much to get such an explosive reaction? Well, whatever it may be, the targeted gorilla is surely regretting it now. Another friendly fight ensues in this zoo when two gorillas go after each other in their enclosure. You know it isn't a serious fight because both use almost no power to throw their punches. They also bare their teeth at each other in a fake show of aggression. It looks like they are even trying to bite one another at one point, but even that is a simple, playful bite and not a fierce one to draw blood. The pretend bout of wrestling continues for some time, and it's fun to watch what these gorillas do when they are in the mood for some fun. What do you do when your kids become too unruly? Well, if you are this gorilla, you just smack them in the face. You can see the adult gorilla sitting still.
For fun. Listen to that, bro.
While infants all around it enjoy a gala time playing with their siblings. When one of them gets too close, the adult gorilla first stares at it disapprovingly and then whacks it with his fist. As the unruly infant settles down and becomes quieter, another young gorilla makes the mistake of venturing too close to the larger one. It gets the same treatment, a punch to the face. Well, that's an easy way of maintaining order in the gorilla community, it seems. Gorillas scare humans. Gorillas may be close relatives to human beings, but that doesn't mean they like to be around people all the time. And sometimes, these primates let their displeasure known to the humans around them. In this clip, you can see a silverback in its enclosure. He looks towards the glass and his audience a few times with displeasure. Well, you can't really blame it. At one point, the gorilla charges at the glass at full speed, but then stops short. It looks like a warning of sorts to the people to get back. When that doesn't work, the gorilla goes back and then charges once more.
That gorilla is lean, or they're not feeding him. Because that's a strong gorilla. That's a real strong silverback gorilla. If he was to take one punch at the glass, I'm guaranteeing you it's shattering. Because what? It's a strong dude. It has thick plexiglass at a zoo. I'm not with it, bro.
However, unlike last time, it doesn't stop short, but instead rams into the glass with all its strength. Even the thick glass cracks because of this, leaving the visitors shaken. Here, the children get too close to the glass, and the gorilla doesn't seem too keen to pose for pictures. The silverback looks angrily towards the visitors for some time, but things get out of control when one of the children bangs on the glass. The gorilla gets up on 2 feet.
Example number 1 of banging on the glass at the zoo exhibit for the gorillas, and it's a big silverback, and this is a child. This is exactly why Harambe got that little kid. No offense to the family, but that's exactly why. And y'all want to question why Harambe did it. You know why. Don't do that.
And approaches the glass. The silverback then thumps his own chest, immediately driving the kids back. Even though there's a thick barrier between them, it's the size of the gorilla that can scare even the bravest of people. Once again, in this clip, a gorilla looks visibly distraught with all the shouting and the banging on the glass. It stares at the people for some time before lashing out and kicking at the barrier hard. While the glass holds, the people are still terrified of the incident, but the gorilla's protests aren't over. After a while, it rushes at the glass while thumping at its chest.
His hind legs gotta be at least 3 feet, bro. At least 3 feet. So if he's standing up all the way, you gotta add like maybe 4 more feet on top of that. Wish I had that pointer guider to show you where I'm pointing at. Or where I'm looking at. Hold on, man.
Chest with its arm, a clear sign of its irritation.
Producers, imagine having samples that make you react like this.
Okay, wait. Hang on.
It's all fun and games when the gorilla is inside an enclosure. This clip, however, shows what happens when a man comes face to face with a gorilla in the wild. This wildlife documentation was in the middle of watching a few gorillas when one of the animals decided to have a closer look. At first, it watches the man from a distance, most likely curious. The powerful gorilla also pulls a tree over its head almost effortlessly to shade it from the sun. As it gets closer to the man, he is about to back away instinctively. But the guides with him make him stand his ground, as trying to escape may incite this primate further. A truly horrifying and humbling experience for anyone. Gorilla attacks cat. Sometimes, gorillas don't comprehend just how powerful they are compared to many other animals. This results in them handling those animals in a not-so-delicate manner. While the gorillas may think it's all fun and games, the creature on the receiving end may not be having a great time. In this clip, a small cat has somehow made its way inside the gorilla enclosure in a zoo. The gorillas are quite curious and want to take a closer look at the animal. One of them picks the cat by its tail and inspects it closely. Then, the gorilla throws the cat several feet away. But the harassment is far from over for this little kitty. Soon, another gorilla grabs it by the tail and yanks it away. This time, it flies even further. Fortunately, the cat is able to hide away underneath a log until rescue workers arrive and carry it out of the enclosure. There's no denying that gorillas are fascinating creatures to watch, but veering too close to them can be the last mistake that you can make. Tell us in the comments which of these clips you like the most. Also, do you know of any other fight sequences of gorillas? As always, if you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like and sharing it with friends and family. If you are new here, you should also go ahead and subscribe.
Hey man, they were about to kill the cat. I was about to scare that. And that guy was dead for it, bro. They was about to yee. Waved around like a helicopter. It was about to go crazy in there, bro. Oh, it was about to go crazy. Ooh. Oh, that's stupid. Alright, so supposedly y'all can't. I'm gonna stop.